Audio Novels 2.0. Hello everyone. We are once again together in a new story. We hope you like it and that you enjoy it as we did when creating it. Eat healthy, drink water daily and do not overexert yourself. Take care and welcome to Audio Novels 2.0. I arrived just at the moment when they were 6 meters away. Everyone when they see me stop and stare at me. I speak forcefully. Who dares to enter my kingdom and use violence without my consent? The riders look at each other and start laughing, ha 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 ha. But after a few seconds of seeing my clothes, they change their attitude and someone comes up to talk to me. Who excuse my discourtesy? Apparently, you are a nobleman. Let me introduce myself. I am Ador III, and I have come to capture these beasts. She is a criminal with an arrest warrant. The beast woman screams, that's a lie. Ador yells at him loudly and then continues talking to me, shut up you damn beast. Noble sir, I hope you understand that interfering with the capture of these beasts is going against the realm of holy light, and no matter how noble it is, it cannot be accepted. I can see that Ador has a genuine contempt for beast people. Just by listening to the tone of voice, one can deduce several things. I understand that this is an idiot. I answer him calmly. I understand, well. But Ador didn't let me continue with what I was going to say. Ador laughs, ha 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 ha. He puts on an unpleasant smile when he sees the despairing face of the beast woman. He starts to approach towards the beast woman with an unpleasant face, and as he approaches he talks to me. Quite a reasonable decision, my esteemed nobleman. Now if you will allow me, I am going to take those filthy beasts. When he got close enough, I drew my sword and put it at his neck, speaking to him with a firm voice. I think you do not understand me. I said that I understood, and that you can go now. Now you are in my kingdom, and everything that is within my kingdom belongs to me. Ador puts on a puzzled face for 1 second, and immediately changes to one of fury. He yells at me. What the hell do you think? You're just a stupid nobleman and winter. That. Zero, intervened quickly, silencing the rider. Zero, you're a bit hasty. Zero, he cut off his head in less than a millisecond, but it doesn't matter anymore. As I see that there is no other way, it only remains to continue. Alright, which one of you is next? The other riders, seeing their dead partner, begin to scream, damn, don't think you'll get away with it. It doesn't matter if you're a noble, or if you have a golem, we are much more, and just in time, the others they're here. A group of 15 horsemen approached, they have their weapons ready for combat. Faced with such incompetence to see the difference in power, I resign myself to starting a conversation. I understand, it seems that there is no other choice. The riders when they see me calm, and that I put away my sword, begin to laugh. Ah ha 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 ha, it seems you understand the difference in power. Now give us those beast people if you don't want to die. I refuse. What a jerk, everyone kill him. C1, finish them off. I send one of the warrior automatons to eliminate everyone, these are useless even for warm-up. C1, he quickly eliminated the horseman. I can see that C1, it looks like he was dancing on the battlefield, but his movements are so refined, he can afford to show us something cute. The horsemen's heads fall one after another, the riders try to parry C1's sword, but they get run through with swords and all. It's the first time I've seen one of my automata fight against humans. It's a one-sided battle. C1, it's overwhelmingly superior, both in technique and in equipment. Once C1, I finish everyone off, I turn to the beast woman who seems to be the leader and ask, hello. But when I realized it, they were all prostrate on the ground. I can see how his hair and tail stand on end just talking to him. This is what people call goosebumps. I ask him, what's your name? The woman looks very scared and can't help but stammer as she answers me. Yes, my name is Elsa, Elsa Estienne, and I lean towards you, your majesty. I can understand the definition of his majesty, it's the same as king, but leaning towards me, maybe it's a pose of surrender, or maybe it has another meaning like, I'm not hostile. I continue with my questions. Very well, Elsa, I can ask you why those people were persecuting you. Ha AAA, see your majesty, lo, humans, stop. This is taking a long time, I can see with my naked eye that she's terrified, it's probably the first time I've seen blood in a battle, since I was being chased I'm sure some others were left behind, I thought this, since most of them arrived then maybe they will split open, and if they split there may be survivors, I have to hurry up and look for information. Speak. First raise your head. I can see that she raises her head slowly, she has a pretty face, although she is a little pale, she is clearly scared, you are all missing more people, I can see that she reacts to my words and responds. Yes, we lack people, no, we separate to survive. Tell me where they went, she looks to the side of one of the warning signs I planted, using the resonance ability, I order H1 to rescue the beast people and bring them back. See H1, I can see that H1, the healing automaton, he rushes off in the spider cart. The others, seeing the spider-type cart, scream and fall to the ground. I reassure them by telling them that it is an ally. Before I continue I have to make them stop shaking first. I take out a table, chairs and cutlery from one of the little storage bags I got from the dungeon. I currently have 3 equipped right now, 1, for the useful items, 2, for food, 3, for materials. I prepare a table with 5 chairs and 3 kitchen knives, 4 glasses and a jug with fresh water, with some fruits. I sit in one of the chairs and talk to them. Sit down, I don't have chairs for everyone, but at least the water will calm you down a bit, and it's not enough for everyone, but you'll have to share. The beast people get up, and they begin to sit down, confused, some of their legs tremble, including Elsa. I drink my glass of water and they seemed somewhat thirsty, they quickly finished the jug of water, I take out another jug of fresh water and pass it to them. After running out of water they seem somewhat more relaxed, and Elsa the beast woman recovered her colors and at first glance she was a beautiful beast woman, she had golden hair, beautiful fox ears and golden eyes. I swallowed saliva when I saw her. One of the things that surprises me the most is his great kinship with humans, besides, he has beautiful pearly skin, and he has slightly revealing clothes. If I look closely I can see some areas of exposed skin, if it weren't for his ears of fox. And that tail, would be a completely human woman, I want her, before she seemed so fragile, but now she seems like a woman, my future woman. My mind wanders with thoughts, how I want her for myself, and even if she doesn't know it, she will be my wife. As I continued with my inner desires H1, it came just as they finished with the spider cart filled with bodies of beast people, with 13 people in total. The seated people get up quickly when they see their companions, H1 starts to go down. The bodies seemed somewhat injured, but they were breathing. I sincerely expected someone dead, due to the level of contempt that one of them showed, but I could see that most of them were sewn up. By the time I finished putting them down, H1 started to heal the injured, he was using healing magic, the seams were falling off as they healed, that means some arms and legs were attached before returning. H1, one of the automata healers, he was created with everything he knew about surgeries and medicines, and combining them with magic he does amazing things. Once while at dungeon level 37 one of my arms was severed and H1 in 10 seconds attached my arm and then using healing magic my arm was as good as new. Of course I first did tests with the wild wolves that appeared from time to time. Some cried when they saw their companions return safely, except Elsa, she was looking at 2 of them, with a furious look, those golden eyes, combining them with that intense look makes me want her more and more, even though she is burning inside, for outside I am completely calm, like a king, it is as if nothing can disturb my calm. After a few seconds some of them started to wake up, now I understand a little better, H1 I inject them with paralyzing poison to transport it faster, I'm sure they tried to escape or attack H1, well that would be normal, I would do the same thing. I think how would my reaction, if a mechanical spider suddenly appeared out of nowhere when he had just arrived, it would be terrifying. I'll pretend I don't know anything and let them calm down before continuing with the talk. When the one Elsa was looking at woke up, he quickly shouted while aiming at him, "Catch those two traitors!" I felt a slight chill run down my spine. It wasn't a chill of fear, it was quite the opposite, it was one of emotion. I've made up my mind, I'll make her my wife. Quickly his allies held the two traitors. I casually passed a couple of ropes that he created with magic to Elsa when no one was watching me. Elsa casually thanks me, like one of her colleagues, and quickly passes it on to the others, and while ordering them to tie him up firmly, she freezes up. He must have realized that he completely ignored me because of the complicated faces his allies were making. His hair stands on end and he turns slowly and sees me smiling. After 1 second of staring at me, he jumps up and prostrates himself on the ground and speaks loudly in panic. "My most sincere apologies, I will accept any punishment, forgive my insolence." I can't help it and laugh at that performance. "Ugh, ha 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 ha, don't apologize, that was funny." Elsa looked embarrassed, but that increased her beauty. Once the two traitors were properly bound and gagged, I saved everything but a chair for myself, called to them, and they all gathered in front of me, and the beast woman introduced herself again, but this time with greater calm. "Hello your majesty, and thank you for the water and the fruits. My name is Elsa, Elsa Estienne, I am the daughter of Oscar Estienne. Once again thank you very much for saving us from those humans and your hospitality. I swear I will return this gratitude that you have shown us." "Don't worry Elsa," or that's what he wants to say, but I prefer that he owe me favors. I ask him, "Those are all your classmates?" "Yes, thank the goddess that everyone managed to survive, although I'm surprised that Golem can use healing magic." I wonder, a goddess, is it a real goddess or a belief? But since it's not important right now, I won't ask and I'll talk to you firmly. "Well, since you feel better now, let me ask you, because they were being persecuted." I stare at Elsa waiting for an answer. Elsa seems somewhat uncomfortable and her eyes wander a bit. After a 1-hour talk, I find out about the situation of the beast people and what they were doing before they came to my kingdom, that they were betrayed by the guards sent by one, Barton Arkan, and when he said with a disgusted face, that he was going to be her fiancé once he returned to town. I could feel how my blood was starting to heat up. I was tempted to ask him, if I could kill him, rather, "I want to kill him." I was eager to say that phrase, but I stopped myself. In the middle of the conversation, Elsa leans back on the ground and asks, "Please let her pass to show her respects to the dead in the river that is in my territory, and if she has to punish someone, only punish her." I stop to think for a moment. I imagine different types of punishment, being my cook in servant clothes, and other types of punishment that always arrive at the same place, my bed. I clear my mind and ask him, "If I let you in, what will they do?" I'm a bit intrigued by showing their respects, and since I know that there are no other people near my territory, they will be safe, except for the wolves and monsters that roam everywhere. One of them asked, what part of my territory was to avoid being bothered. That made me smile, and I told him we are already within my territory. They all look surprised when I explained that my territory covered a large field including the river to which they were going to show their respects. After we all finished talking, we agreed that I would accompany them to see how they showed their respects. At first they tried to refuse, but when I insisted on going with an affirmative voice, they had no other option but to accept. Now we are going towards the river. Since it seems that they are afraid of the spider-type cart, I sent it back. And since I was sure of my safety, I went alone with Zero. I sent the other automatons back. The beast people were confused and asked me somewhat shyly if it was okay for me to go unescorted. I reply that no more protection is needed, I am strong enough to fight against Zero. One tries to say something, but Elsa stops him and we continue. When they saw that C1 was leaving, they seemed calmer. While we were going, some were confused seeing me walk next to them, to start a chat. I asked them what they do when they show their respects to the dead. Elsa explained that when they show their respects to the dead, the first princess of the tribe is sent to the Manak River, with which the river was called Manak. In the Manak River the firstborn princess, I, have to get into the Manak River the day the sun goes down and pray to lessen the fury of the souls of our fallen comrades in battle. Tell me, how often do you pay respect to the dead? Once every 10 years. Interesting. And always the sun hides. Yes, I don't know, that's what my father said. He also said that it is very important to show our respects on that holy day, because if it is not done, the souls of the dead will not rest in peace, until the next time. Interesting. Tell me what it's like when the sun goes down. When I ask him that, he seems somewhat rambling. Well, the truth is I don't know anything, and with a somewhat shy face he pronounces some destructive words. It's my first time, so I only know what they taught me. Hey, my heart was pierced by an imaginary arrow. My father and mother explained to me that the sun goes dark and new monsters appear, and in large numbers, and they are more dangerous than usual. In great quantities. New monsters, and how many amounts usually? I don't know. When it happened before, I was still little and I was protected inside the fort. My mother told me that they were usually 10 to 20 times the normal amount, but that the new monsters appeared one per wave, for that she brought her best guards to protect her when she paid her respects. Wait, you know what waves mean? No, that's all they explained to me. I don't know anything else. I think, this is dangerous for them. I wonder if it's like Terraria's blood moon. You can see from her expression that she seems somewhat uncomfortable. I ask him. You know the monsters of these places? No, it's the first time I've come to these places. When we came we ran into some wolves. It took one of us to stop one alone and two to eliminate it easily. When she said that, she seemed somewhat proud. I think, this is too bad, they are too weak. I stop and stare at Elsa. Once she stops and looks at me, I speak to her with a serious voice. If you go, you will die. Hearing me speak, Elsa looks at me for a few seconds with big eyes and looks like she's going to cry. Asks me. Well, why do you say that? I answer him frankly. Well, the truth is that you are very weak, and since only 2 of you are needed to eliminate one common wolf. When what you call the sun going down happens, and since 10 to 20 times the normal number of monsters will come, and apart in waves, all of you will die in the first wave, and that apart you did not fight against a bigger wolf, and that are very rare are the alpha wolves. And since you say that new and ferocious monsters will appear, I calculate that before the normal wolves come, several of the older wolves will come with some alpha. For example, an older wolf is 5 to 10 times more dangerous than a common wolf, and it always comes accompanied by 3 to 5 common wolves. On the other hand, alpha wolves are 10 to 20 times more dangerous than a larger wolf by itself, and that's without saying that an alpha can bring between 2 to 5 larger wolves at the same time with a lot of common wolves, but they are very rare. I only got to see it 10 times in my territory. Zero, says, cute puppy. I pat Zero's head, and laugh, ha 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 ha, if Zero, I'll let you play with as many puppies as you want when they arrive. Elsa's skin tone seemed paler by the second. Elsa falls to the ground, as if all the strength in her legs had left her. Even her back guards were pale and frightened by my words. Pale Elsa says, that's why my father didn't want me to come, and he gave me a big hug before leaving. I thought he only cared about me. I don't want to die. Or, she broke down, she's crying. I give a slight sigh and I approach Elsa and hug her while I tell her, calm down, everything will be fine, I'm here. Elsa begins to lessen her crying. I stop hugging Elsa, and while I dry tears with my finger I tell her, don't worry Elsa, it's okay if you're afraid, I'll protect you. With those words Elsa starts to blush, and to end I tell her, a woman is more beautiful when she smiles. With these last words Elsa it is completely red. After a few seconds I can hear a tiny voice coming out of Elsa's mouth, I can't get up, I wonder if I should carry her or one of those assistants should carry her. I really want to carry her like a princess or on my back, but it would be going too fast, so I suggest resting a bit. Using my resonance ability, I call a spider cart and 2 battle-made automaton with food and materials to make some equipment. Once they arrived, I started to create a structure like a grill, and G1 starts to prepare the seasoned meat while G2 starts to prepare a delicious rice. While we waited for the food to be ready, I created chairs and a large wooden table. Everyone stared at me with strange faces for what I was doing. I ask one of them, "What's happening?" And this one answers me a little uncomfortable. The king is an alchemist." I ask something annoyed, "What's wrong with being one?" His friend, seeing that his friend was in a panic, tries to help. "Is that alchemists are rare, and they are not seen in a good way by humans and dwarves." I look at him with a pensive look. "Dwarves, there are such races in this world, dwarves don't like alchemists." The beastman seemed scared when I was thoughtful while looking at him. Elsa quickly intervenes and explains, "Humans and dwarves don't like alchemists, because their creations of alchemists are inferior, compared to the creations of dwarves. They are superior in technique and quality, for this reason they are despised as losers." "Hoo, I see, I see," I nod, and the werbeast relaxes and moves to the side to try to escape further conversation. Once everything was ready, the beast people were drooling at the smell of the food prepared with condiments. When my battle-made automatons prepared the table, everyone was ready to start eating, but not one touched their plate, and apparently they were waiting for me to start eating first. I wonder if this would be normal in their tribe. Once I started eating, the others did the same. I could hear how they talked to each other. Some couldn't even stop talking at you high and get hit by their next door mates. They said, "This is delicious, yaa, fantastic, what is this food, delicious, ouch, have you ever tried something like this, what a delicious juice, ouch, this is orange juice, hey try this, damn don't steal my food," and other things. I was happy inside when I heard them praise the dishes that my automatons prepared. I could hear Elsa embarrassed apologizing for the lack of manners of her companions. I reassure her by telling her that it makes me happy to hear how they praise my food. When listening to me, Elsa tells me, "Something sorry is delicious," and with a tiny voice that I couldn't hear, "I could eat it every day." It was slightly red. While Elsa was in her own world while eating, I ask her, "Elsa, what do you think about staying here?" Listening to me, Elsa chokes on her food and begins to cough. Poof, cough cough, cough. Elsa quickly drinks his juice to soothe his throat. "You're saying so suddenly, please don't play with me." I think, it seems that he took it as a game, maybe I was too casual. I stare at her, "I'm not playing, I'm serious, I want you to stay with me, Elsa." Elsa freezes instantly. "And don't call me king, my name is Gabriel, Gabriel Estrellan." Elsa began to redden little by little until you could see that smoke was coming out of her head, but her face quickly changed to one of sadness. "No, I can't, I have a duty to fulfill, and I can't accept your request." I speak inside myself, "I've already reached this point, I won't let it get away from me," and I ask another question. "Exactly what duty are you talking about?" "I have to protect my people from the humans, and since I am the priestess, if I abandon my allies, our people will be thrown into chaos. Besides, I have an arranged engagement between my father and the Beast King Barton Arkan. Although I was betrayed by the guards he sent, that doesn't mean the engagement is cancelled. The strength of the Beast King Barton Arkan is necessary to protect the village." They all stopped eating when they heard me and Elsa talking. I think for a few seconds, Beast King Barton Arkan, it's the first time I've hated a living being before I met him, I'll crush him like an insect. That does not help me now, what should I do? I can help her, but also on the other hand, there is the one who would betray me. Since I don't know who he is, it is difficult to say if he is a human, or beast-type people. Apart from he did not indicate if he was a woman or a man who would betray me, but that was 1 year since I came into the world, but I was there for more than 3 years, for which I took a totally different path from the original. If I lend him my strength, he may use it against me. Or worse, she may be tricked and used against me as exchange material. I take a little time to think about all that. Elsa looked sad. I asked the sad Elsa, how many live in your town? We are a small town, and we are more than 500 beast people. With a smile I speak to Elsa, so Elsa, I have a proposal for you. Elsa looks at me somewhat confused, what kind of proposal? I think, the time has come, it's all or nothing. Elsa, be one of my wives. Everyone who heard it couldn't resist it and shouted together, Thati. Some were drinking juice and they spit it out, unintentionally wetting their companions. But the most surprised of all was Elsa herself. She was dropping the cutlery while she froze with her mouth open, while she looked at me. I ignore them all and continue speaking to the bewildered Urza, be one of my wives, Elsa. Elsa Roja says, but I can't, my people. With a fixed look I tell him, I will take care of all your people. Elsa opens her eyes wide when she hears me. What is she saying, Your Majesty? Bring all your people to live in my kingdom, they will live in my kingdom as citizens. Elsa froze listening to me. With a fixed look I ask Elsa. Be my wife Elsa. After a few seconds Elsa reacts, and completely red says. I have to discuss it with my father. On the outside I may seem calm, but on the inside, I was screaming I did it, yes, victory, do that Barton Arkan. I think, win, but it's not time to sing Vittoria yet. Unexpected things always happen in the animes I watched in the other world. I have to anticipate those problems before they arrive. First, I have to ensure the life of the father, as it seems that he has no military power, he is using his own daughter as a bargaining chip for military support. Maybe it was due to the day the sun goes down, but since the guards that this Barton guy commanded are a trap, I imagine he will not comply with his part of the deal and leave the father without protection. With a smile I speak to Elsa. Well Elsa, now let's start with the preparations, tell me when the sun will go down. Elsa, with a slightly red face, responds. Hey, in 2 days. I respond to Elsa's answer with, that leaves us with little time. Elsa jumps over, and almost screams with a red face, little time for that. I reply with a slight teasing smile. It's a short time to visit your father, what were you thinking? Elsa blushes and says. No, nothing, I was thinking the same thing. I could see some smoke coming out of Elsa's head. I want to annoy her a bit more, but I'll hold back. I have another question Elsa. Yes, call me King. Elsa, I told you my name is Gabriel. Elsa somewhat shyly answers, yes, Mr. Ga. No. Just say Gabriel. Whoa, Gabriel. That makes me smile and I ask, these guards are the strongest of your people? Elsa hesitantly, says, I don't know, my father chose them, and those 2 over there were sent by that Barton Arkan. I understand, you, answer with the truth, how strong you are among your tribe. Everyone looked down and some said, we are normal, we are neither strong nor weak. I understand. Elsa looked surprised to learn that her guards were not the strongest. One of them said, our job is to keep Our Lady safe at the cost of our own lives. I think. These are meat sacrifices, rightly so, despite being more than the riders couldn't stop them. Elsa was puzzled by the new information. I raise my voice a little and say. Very well, I need the bravest to approach, not the strongest, I need the bravest. A cat girl raised my hand, she's pretty, but she's not as pretty as Elsa, and that tail and ears, I want to touch them, I wonder if it's like a cat when I caress it. I'm getting away from the conversation. The cat girl introduces herself as Elizabeth. According to her and Elsa, they say, that they have been friends since childhood, that when Elsa was in trouble, Elizabeth was always by her side and that she is trustworthy. Elizabeth the First have a mission for you. Elizabeth straightens up and says, leave whatever it is to me, I'll protect Elsa. Return to your tribe. All the enthusiasm that Elizabeth had plummeted to one of irony. Elsa speaks before Elizabeth. Hey, King, what does he mean by returning? Ha 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 ha, I laughed at Elizabeth, who was baffled. Let me explain it better. I need you to go back and bring reinforcements to your village. If they took so little protection to protect their first princess, your village has a shortage of strong warriors. Bulletin, but in 2 days we won't make it on time. It took us 4 days to get here by wagon, and our supplies were destroyed as well as the wagons. Don't worry, I'm sure they'll arrive on time. I use my resonance ability to call one of the 10 automata squads I own and 2 terabyte type automata. While we waited, we kept talking. Elizabeth says. It is impossible to arrive in 2 days, the horses will not be able to with the excess of work. We arrive in 4 days hurrying a little, and normally one arrives in 5 days. I answer. I understand, I am completely sure that you will be able to arrive in 2 days. Bulletin, but, how? When Elizabeth says, how? With a smile I look and point to the side, and say with a somewhat proud voice, I'll lend you a little of my strength. When everyone turned their gazes, they were frozen at the sight of my terabyte-like automata. Some yells monster, monsters. I calm them down by raising my voice and saying, hush. When they are quiet, I go over to my automata and with a smile I explain, this is T1 and T2, they are my war tank automata, they are my beautiful heavy transport vehicles, besides it can be expanded for camping outdoors and many other functions. The beast people were scared, but they managed to stay calm once they knew it was one of my creations. Say hello T1, T2. Bye bye. He sounds just like the terabyte from GTA 5, he I love this thing. Contrary to the happy me, the others intuitively entered into a battle pose, but a few seconds later they calmed down when they saw that nothing was happening, although Elsa seemed scared. Well, Elizabeth, go inside T1, T2, she will follow you. Elsa woke up from her frozen state. Hey, wait. How is it possible to move this giant thing without horses, and, where did this thing come from? I respond naturally. Like where? From my kingdom, I told you the truth, we are in my kingdom. Elsa, even more confused, continues speaking forcefully. Wait, seriously, your kingdom, since it came so fast, I didn't see it coming. I try to reassure Elsa that it seems that at any moment she would run out of air. Wow, calm down for a moment, you're going to have a cardiac arrest, inhale and breathe. I also handed her a glass of fresh water and set her in a chair to relax. After calming Elsa down and having her drink some water, I want to continue, explaining to Elizabeth how T1 works, but Elsa jumps in front of me, and while grabbing my shoulders she tells me. Wait a minute, I won't let you escape, you said that I would be your wife, explain to me how you did it. I want to kiss her right now, but I'll hold back for now. With a smile, I reply. Of course, if my pretty wife wants to know, I'll gladly explain it to you. Elsa turns red when she finds out she was making a scene. As I explained to you before, we are in my kingdom, right? Elsa nods a little red and lets me go. I feel a little disappointed, I wanted to feel a little more the warmth of his hands. I point to a place that is at a distance of 10 meters, look, you can see those little lines on the ground. Elsa looks carefully and says. Yes, it's a straight line and it's almost invisible, besides the earth is covering it, that makes it more difficult to see. Well, look closely, Sol T3, Elsa is surprised to see that the ground starts to open up rapidly and T3, a terabyte-type automaton comes out of it. I ask Elsa. Elsa, you want to see a part of my kingdom? Elsa nods somewhat fearfully. I think, the time has finally come, I've been practicing this several times. I raise my hand activating resonance and speak forcefully. Listen to my call and obey my will, awake, and rise once more, so that the world may witness our power. Once I finish with my sentence. The ground trembled, Everyone began to panic. It could be seen in the distance that giant piles of Damascus steel began to emerge. These themselves were reinforced with magic and multiple alchemy methods with complex magic circuits, one after another at a great rate. Speed, they were forming a large circle with the mountain as the center. Elsa and the others were screaming in terror. Inside the gigantic circle, houses began to come out. The houses were of different sizes and shapes, lamps that illuminated the environment, circulation streets, water ponds, and many other things that one would see in a city. Automatons of all kinds were they began to see walking through the streets. Some of the houses were up to 5 stories high, but compared to the protection pillars that were 30 stories high, they were small. After 3 minutes a city appeared out of nowhere. We were near one of the main gates. Of course the sector we were in hadn't changed. I answer the gaping Elsa with a satisfied smile. And what do you think of my kingdom? It's not pretty. She fainted. Elsa fainted suddenly. She didn't expect that. I think it was too much for her. I create a bed with my magic power and put Elsa to bed. When I turned to see the others, 5 had passed out, 2 urinated, 2 were crying, and the others were shaking with fear, including Elsa's childhood friend, Elizabeth. I ask you, what do you think? Triple A. Suddenly they all bent over to the ground and yelled. We are so sorry. That surprised me. I try to find out what's wrong, and ask why they apologize. No, we didn't think he was a real king, we thought he was a crazy nobleman. We are so sorry, please forgive Our Lady. I answer them. I have nothing to forgive, if after all she will be one of my wives. Once they heard me, some calmed down, some were surprised, and some had a face like they wanted to ask something, but they seemed to have remembered what I said when we were eating. Ugh, ha 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 ha, don't tell me they forgot about the scare. They all looked slightly relieved. Well Elizabeth, it's your turn. Elizabeth overjumps. Your turn. Go up to T1. Elizabeth looks at T1, visibly puzzled. That thing is huge, it won't eat me, will it? No. You will go with you, to your old home and help your people. Elizabeth tries to climb, and I stop her. Wait, I didn't mean to go up. I order T1, open the door. The front cabin door opens. I get on T1, and ask Elizabeth to go up. Once Elizabeth I go in, she looks around the interior with curious eyes. She seems to be interested in the cabin. When she touches the driver's cushion with her hand, she says, soft, super soft. She seems shocked with the softness. I sit her next to the driver and I explain to her how T1 works. Look at me, it's easy to use. You see this piece of metal, it's called a pedal. Elizabeth repeats after me, pedal. Look, Elizabeth has 2 pedals, the one on this side is for speed up and this other one is for braking. It's easy, she nods. Look at these buttons, you can see that they have numbers. Elizabeth nods. You understand these numbers? Elizabeth nods again. Well, these numbers are the speed power level. The higher the number, the higher the speed. Now it's at 0 so that it is stationary and the number that is negative is to go in reverse. Elizabeth agrees. This other thing is called the handlebar. If you turn this to one side, T1, it will turn to the side you choose. Got it? Yes, King. And one more thing, T1, he's an intelligent automaton just like the other terabytes, and he can talk, so if you need help you can ask T1. Elizabeth asks with interest, the golems can talk? I reply, yes, my golems can talk, but don't call them golem, their name is Terabyte T1, but just say T1. Yes, King. T1 greet her. Inside the cabin a voice is heard. She has a somewhat friendly voice. Hello, I'm T1, the terabyte type automaton, but you can call me just T1, it's nice to meet you, miss. Elizabeth looked happy and excited. And he speaks to the speaker, the pleasure is mine, my name is Elizabeth, I hope we get along well. T1, he answers, the desire is mutual, Miss Elizabeth, I will be counting on your guide to complete my king's mission. Elizabeth seemed excited. Now comes the important thing, Elizabeth puts on a serious face and looks at me. Inside T1, is one of my squads of automata. When the day the sun goes down, you will use this squad to help protect your town. Thank you, King, I swear by my name that I will fulfill this mission. I get down from T1, and open the main door of the kingdom with resonance. Once opened, Elizabeth leaves with T1, and T2 behind her, following her. A few days before, in the town of Eslania, inside the house of King Oscar Estienne, in the meeting room. Father, you called me. Yes, my daughter. The day is coming to pay our respects to the dead. Yes, father, I am already aware and I am making preparations to go. I know that respect for the dead is a sacred act and that it should not be missed, but I don't like it. Father, that's disrespectful to the dead. If I know, and I apologize. On the other hand, humans have been more active these days, I'm afraid they're up to something. Father, the day of respect for the dead is sacred and cannot be postponed. I know that the goddess will provide a solution to the problems. I know, but I still don't like it. This can be dangerous, but I can't leave our little town alone. If only Maria were here. Yes, father, mother's death was a hard blow for the town, but I reached adulthood and it is my obligation as the first princess to show respect to the dead. Yes, I know, my little one, and I know that stopping you would go against everything we believe in. That I am no longer small, I am already an adult. You will always be my little girl to me. Pouts. Ah ha 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 ha. Elsa, I have to apologize to you. Why do you say that, father? The allied people, their king Barton Arkan, is asking for your hand in marriage. Father. That idiot, he is one of those who only thinks with his muscles, he cannot bring anything good to our town. I think the same, but at this time, when humans attack us and the day the sun sets approaches, your strength is necessary. Besides, you are sending reinforcements to our city, and an additional escort for your departure. Your commitment will be given to the light after you return. But father, that monkey brain already owns several women and is said to beat them. Yes, I am aware of your bad reputation, but for that I must apologize. I have no choice but to accept what that idiot says. I'm sure he's being manipulated by his friend. If it wasn't for his friend's intelligence, his town would already be a mess. Brains and brawn is the worst combination, and to make everything worse, his friend has a twisted mind. I swear that if there was another option, he would not hesitate to take it. Yes, father, I understand. I'll start with the preparations. Pay close attention and you will bring some extra guards, you will need it. Thanks, Dad. The next day. Father, I already have all the preparations, and if we hurry we will reach the river in 4 days. No, Elsa, if you go in a hurry and the humans attack you, you and your guards will be tired to defend themselves and they will capture you or worse. I understand, father. Very well, everyone is ready. Yes, my lady, yes, of course, that's the spirit. Let's leave immediately, every second counts. Wait, Elsa. What's going on, father? Before you go you won't give me a hug like you did before. Father, I'm not a girl anymore. Just one more, the last one. All right. A warm hug between a father and a daughter. Father, you crush me. Or, I'm sorry, I'm not holding you anymore, come back safely is all I ask. Father, don't worry, I'll be fine. Some days after. My wife has already spent 4 days and I can see the mountain that is near the sacred lake. If we continue with the pass we will reach our destination in half a day. Very good, we are close, do not be distracted and continue with the firm step. It's been 4 days and the road has been favorable for us, we have only fought against wolves. My father worries too much. I will show him that I am now a reliable adult and when I return, I will bring pride to our town. My lady, everything is going well, nothing strange. What's up, Elizabeth, why do you make that annoying face? My lady, that is the problem. Which one, Elizabeth? The problem is that nothing happened, everything is going too well, so much so that it is very suspicious. Ah ha 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 ha, Elizabeth, you are being very paranoid, this happens because the goddess is on our side. Let's rest a bit before we continue, my father told me to always keep the guards well rested. Yes my lady, the king is wise. Everyone prepare to rest. This time we will eat lightly so that we can continue as soon as we finish eating. As you order my lady. My lady, I'll go investigate the sides, or, you're one of those commanded by King Barton. Yes my lady. You have to rest, I don't want you to be tired afterwards. Don't worry my lady, I'll be quick and I'll be there for lunch. Okay, looks like you're good, you can go, but take 2 more with you. It won't be necessary. I insist. Yes my lady. Shortly after. My wife, the food is ready and they don't come back from investigating, maybe something happened to them. You may be right, Elizabeth, when we finish eating, we will all go out to investigate, there is still plenty of sun left. Who look, one is already arriving, you see Elizabeth, you are being paranoid. No my lady, look better, you are coming in a hurry, that is not good. I use my magic eye and get a better look at the watchman, and yes, the watchman looked worried. The other one arrives behind him, but he can't see the guard that King Barton sent. The watchman is riding towards us, my lady, my lady. What's up Argus? Humans my lady, the humans ambushed us, they are a group of 30 well-equipped horsemen, when we were investigating, Omar, one of those sent by the beast King Barton, suggested that we split up to speed things up, that seemed strange to us, so we secretly followed him, and then we saw that he was hiding among the trees. At first we thought that he just wanted to slack off, but we saw that he was talking to an armed human. Shortly after we could see the group of riders, who were preparing to come. We ran as fast as we could to get here. My lady, this is dangerous. We have to find a safe place. I understand, everyone gather and prepare for battle. Put supplies first. My lady, we can't do that. That because one of the wheels of the wagon where we transported the supplies was cut, and we don't know how it happened and Kark disappeared. Damn it, everyone prepare for battle, show those humans the power of the fox race. Yes my lady, we will protect our lady is the best. I can see the horsemen coming fast towards us, those cursed, may the wrath of the goddess be upon them. My lady, I have something to report. What's up, don't you see that we are in a dangerous moment? Yes, I know, my lady, but this is important. In that direction I could see a wall that had something written on it, I couldn't see it well because it was far away, but they were human letters. What do you think it is? I don't know, my lady, it's too far away for me to distinguish. I look in the direction of the mountain and activate full power magic eyes to improve my eyesight, and what I see is some kind of wall with something written on it. Luckily I can understand what is written. Warning: they are 1 kilometer from the Mecha kingdom, the use of violence is not allowed. The Mecha kingdom, which is that, when it was created, or rather where it is, you can't see anything, except the mountain. How far is 1 kilometer? Wait, I can see something far away, it's something like a crop of food, it has something bordering it, it's so far away that even with my magical eyes it's hard for me to distinguish it. My lady, this is bad, they are already here. I can see a group of human riders, coming towards us, damn humans. And the battle began. Our horses were the first to go down, they were aiming for our only way of escape from the start. Then they set fire to our food supplies. My lady, this is very bad, they surpass us in skills, if we stay in this place we will all die. My lady has to escape, she has to escape and survive, we will give them all the time we can manage. I can see how my guards are slowly being overwhelmed and that it's only a matter of time before the defense is broken. I bite my lips due to my impotence. I understand, we have no choice but to risk and leave our fate to another nation. Please, even for a moment, give us time to escape. We will not forget their sacrifices. Run, my lady, and don't look back. 30 minutes into running with all our might, I see another writing nearby. Warning: are in the territory of the Mecha kingdom, the use of force within the territory will not be accepted, otherwise you will be severely punished. Withdraw or pass humbly. We arrived, but I still don't see anyone. I can see the crops better and it looks like humans are working on them, but they are still far away. High five of the riders managed to sneak away and chase us. Don't be afraid, keep running, it won't be long. I say that, even if it's not true, I have to lie to you to keep up your morale. My legs hurt, we are tired, we have been running for 40 minutes in total. I can see the food crop clearly, but it is still far away, we won't make it on time. The 5 horsemen are behind us, almost to reach us. I can see their faces twisted with those disgusting smiles. Goddess, have mercy on your servants and save us from this cruel fate. When everything seemed to be over and the horsemen with their faces full of lust were coming towards us, a young human appeared standing between us and the horsemen. The young human was about 5.5 feet tall. The human speaks loudly. Alto, who dares to enter my kingdom and use violence without my consent? Kingdom, what? I was frozen on the ground due to exhaustion and the appearance of a strange human. This human is the king of this place. I don't see anything like a kingdom, only crops. What are those things? It's like a human golem, it looks like a trained warrior and it's made of iron. It measures about 2 meters tall and they have an intimidating aura. What do I do? What do I say? I bow to him. I don't know what to do. I've never been in such a chaotic situation before. I should have practiced more combat and not read so many books. It seems the human is not related to the riders. That gives me hope. The riders answer the human. You're peasant, stop believing yourself a king, you're just a liar. There is no kingdom called Mecha. Ha 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 ha. That thing, a golem. The rider called him a peasant. It's over, it's all over, father, I couldn't achieve anything. You were absolutely right, I'm not ready yet. The riders continue talking to each other. Wait a minute, what do we do? This guy seems to be a nobleman, look at his clothes, they are made of high quality silk. Apart from that, look at that iron golem, and from what I see it is a battle golem. Only noblemen can possess at least one of the battle golems. Shut up, leave this to me. Excuse my discourtesy, apparently you are a nobleman. Let me introduce myself. I am Ador III, and I have come to capture these mere beasts that broke the law of our kingdom. I muster all my strength to scream, that's a lie. The rider responds by yelling louder, shut up, you damn beast. I am afraid, very afraid. The rider speaks. Noble sir, I hope you understand that interfering with the capture of these beasts is going against the realm of holy light. The nobleman answers calmly, I understand. It's over, all hope I had was destroyed, there's nothing left, I'm short of breath, it's hard to breathe, that's what they call it, panic attack. The rider shows a depraved smile when he sees me. I'm scared to death, I want to implore the nobleman for help, but my voice doesn't come out, I can't even breathe. I know, it's getting closer, I want to run, my legs don't respond, I'm afraid, father save me, mother. The rider speaks to the nobleman as he walks. Quite smart action my esteemed nobleman has taken. When he was 1 meter away from me, suddenly the rider stops. The nobleman has his sword on the rider's neck. When he drew his sword, it was so fast that I couldn't see it. I see a slight drop of blood on the rider's neck. Apparently he couldn't see it either until he felt the edge of the sword. The nobleman spoke. I think you do not understand me. I said that I understood, and that you can go now. Now you are in my kingdom and everything that is within my kingdom belongs to me. Those words calmed my heart. He's my prince, my cheeks get hot, it's like in the stories my mother read to me. I thought that was a lie, until I experienced it myself. It is the story of a princess who is saved by her prince on a white horse. The rider begins to scream. What is this stupid nobleman saying? Who the hell do you think you are? you're just evil. That. What happened? The horseman's head was severed cleanly. Wait, that's a child. No, it's a golem, it's shaped like a child. It cut off his head so fast, I couldn't see how the cut was. I know because his sword has a little horseman's blood. The nobleman speaks calmly. Zero, you are a bit hasty. The golem speaks. My lord, this scum is not worthy of speaking to you in such a manner. Ha ha ha, you're right, after all I'm the king, but it doesn't matter anymore. Zero, that golem is called Zero, it looks like a child, it's even pouting, and it can talk. It's a golem, right, or it's a child. It doesn't look like a golem, it has color and everything, it looks like a child in a strange suit. I do not know anything. The nobleman spoke. Very well, which of you follows? Cursed, you won't think you'll get away with it. It doesn't matter if you're a noble or have a golem, we are much more, and just in time, the others are here. Believe it or not, a group of 15 horsemen have approached and have their weapons ready for combat. The nobleman speaks while putting away his sword. I understand, it seems that there is no other. Wait, you wouldn't save me, aren't you my prince savior? My heart is being oppressed again by despair, I want to cry. I want to talk to him, but my voice doesn't come out again, I'm short of breath. The riders laugh. Ah ha 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 ha, it seems you understand the difference in power, now give us those beast people if you don't want to die. The nobleman spoke. I refuse. My heart beats again. He did not abandon me, even against so many enemies he is still standing, as if everything was normal. I cannot stop watching. The riders scream. What, asshole, everyone kill him, a dead noble can't report us. The nobleman says a single sentence. C1, delete them. Quickly the iron golem runs towards the riders at an absurd speed, it slashes the riders and dodges the attacks as if it were a child against a master. It seems as if it dances on the battlefield. That cannot be done by a golem. I see the heads detach cleanly from the bodies of the riders, a head is cut, it is terrifying. Some tried to protect themselves with their swords, to realize that it was useless, they were pierced with a sword and everything. Yet, he's turning, the nobleman is turning to my side. When I realized it, I was already leaning on the ground. What a shame, I want to bury myself and disappear. Hi, it's getting closer, I feel how my hair stands on end with every step the nobleman takes. Don't come any closer, my heart doesn't will bear. Tell me, what's your name? Hey, those words, my heart, I try to speak the best I can, but my nerves along with my racing heart betray me. Yes, my name is Elsa, Elsa Estienne, and I lean towards you, your majesty. I lean towards you, your majesty. Hey, eat me dirt, I want to disappear. I'm dying of shame. Very well, Elsa, I can ask you why those people were persecuting you. Kiaa, he said my name, Elsa, Kiaa, how cute it sounds when he says it. Wait, what else he said? People, chasing, they were chasing me, because it was, I don't know, I'll just say what my father said. Ha AAA, see your majesty, lo, the humans. 4. He said stop, but my heart stopped, it's not good, I feel like he's going to give me something. First raise your head. I raise my head slowly and we look into each other's eyes, I think I'm going to faint. The nobleman continues speaking. You are all or you need more people. Those words made me remember my guards who were left behind. Ha yes, we lack people, no, we separate to survive. Tell me where they stayed. Since it's hard for me to talk, look at the side we're running from. The nobleman mutters something, and suddenly a big metallic monster passes by, it has spider legs and on top an iron golem, everything happened so fast, I couldn't react and I was frozen with fear. The noble began to take something out of his magic bag, it is, a table, plates, chairs, glasses, fruit and a jug with water. The nobleman told us to sit down. I had a hard time getting up, my legs are still shaking from everything that happened. I sit on the other side of the round table. Since the chairs were insufficient, some of my allies had to stand. My allies were so thirsty that they began to quickly drink the water. I was very thirsty, but I stopped myself. I didn't want to show impoliteness. The nobleman took out another jug of water and passed it to us. The nobleman realized our needs, which shame, for the people of the Raza del Fox, receiving alms without showing courtesy. I apologize for the lack of respect from my people. When we finished with the water, the monster with spider legs returned. I froze just like others. Me, and my guards were on top of the monster. I want to scream for help, but the golem that was on top of the monster began to lower the bodies carefully. It's not a hostile monster, now that I can see it better. It's an iron golem, and the spider-legged monster is made of iron. Maybe it's some kind of golem. I can see that my allies are alive, but they're all asleep and have body parts sewn with some kind of fine thread. I'm afraid to ask what is. The golem comes down and starts to use healing magic on everyone. I could see some of the body parts were sewn together by threads. After using healing magic, the threads fell to the ground. That's impressive. A golem that can use healing magic never did that. I saw it before, but how is that possible? Hey, they are waking up. Some of my allies started crying seeing some of ours started waking up. I can see those filthy traitors. In fury, I order my allies, capture those traitors. Since they just woke up, it was easy to hold the two traitors. When my allies were holding the traitors, one passes me a rope. Thank you, and I pass the rope to my allies to completely capture the traitors, and at the moment I realized what had happened. The one who passed the rope to me didn't. It was one of my allies. It was the king himself who handed me the rope. My blood froze and I turned hard as a rock, and it was the king who was behind me with a smile. I jump and prostrate myself on the ground. I start to apologize. While I think, what an idiot and impolite I was. My most sincere apologies. I will accept any punishment. Forgive my insolence. Ugh. Ha 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 ha, don't apologize, that was funny. He's laughing at me, my pathetic self, what a shame. Before long the noble kept everything except a chair and sat down and called us. I think he wants us to introduce ourselves again. Hello your majesty, and thank you for the water and the fruits. My name is Elsa Estienne, I am the daughter of Oscar Estienne. Once again, thank you very much for saving us from those humans and your hospitality. I swear that I will return this gratitude that you have given us. Has shown. The noble asks me, those are all your companions? Yes, thank the goddess that everyone managed to survive, although I'm surprised that Golem can use healing magic. The nobleman speaks with a firm voice. Well, since you are feeling better now, let me ask you, why were they being persecuted? I don't know what to say. I'm trying to think of a good explanation, but it's complicated. I resign myself and begin to speak everything I know. I tell him about our situation, how the beast people have been declining as a result of the multiple times humans have attacked us, and that this has led us to a precarious situation. I also talked about the betrayal of the guards sent by King Barton Arkan, and my father's arranged engagement with him. I could feel a slight pressure coming out of the noble. If we disturb him, it is possible that those golems will be used against my people. If noble thinks he is a king, for the sake of my people and my people, I have to play along. Everyone, the others already know that they should not anger him. I lean on the ground and implore that he let us pass, so that we can pay our respects to the dead in the river that is in his territory, and that, if he has to punish someone, that he punish me. I will accept any kind as punishment. It seems that he is taking his time to think. That makes me nervous, and suddenly the noble asks me. If I let you pass, what a plow? I don't understand that question. I would like to say, but I can't. You may be asking me about how respect is shown to the dead or something else. While my mind was racing, one of my allies asks, which part was the king's territory, so we don't cause him any more trouble. The nobleman smiles as if expecting that question, and answers. We are already within my territory, and he began to explain how much his territory covered. The size was immense, it was more than 100 times the size of my town. Apart from what I imagined, the river we were going to go to was within his territory. We keep talking a little more, about what we don't have to do, and if we're upset that the river we were going to was part of his property and a few other things. After we finished talking, the nobleman insisted on going with us, and we couldn't refuse. As we were going, the nobleman sent back his golem that looks like a spider along with the other golems except the one that looks like a child. That relaxed us a lot. I don't know if it's rare for a nobleman to walk in a place full of wolves and without protection, but since my father was a king and this nobleman thinks he's a king, he should have more escort. Although I'm happy walking by his side, I can't stand the intrigue and I ask him. King, it's fine, that you are walking without escorts, the nobleman replied to my question, leaving me even more confused. No more protection is needed, I am strong enough to fight against Zero. One of my allies tries to ask something else, but I stop him. While we were walking, the atmosphere was somewhat tense, and no one said anything, but suddenly the nobleman asked. As they do when they show their respects. I begin to explain, how the first princess has to pay her respects to the dead, the time each time the sun sets, and she asked me about the setting of the sun. It's my first time, so he could only say the words my mother and father said. When we were talking, the noble seemed thoughtful, and then he asked me something that made me puzzled. You know what waves mean? I answer honestly. No, just what I said is all I know. At my question, the noble seems to go into thoughts. He asks me another question. You know the monsters of these places? I answer him honestly. No, and I explained what monsters we ran into and that we could easily get by. The nobleman stops suddenly and when our eyes make contact, he tells me, in a serious voice, if you go, you're going to die. That was too direct for me, I can feel that the nobleman is telling the truth, he is completely sure that I will die. Again my words are hard for me to pronounce. Why, you say that? Then the nobleman starts talking and telling how the monsters are in these places, with each passing second I could feel more and more scared. The golem said. Cute doggy. Then the nobleman smiled happily and while stroking his golem's head he said the following words. If Zero, I'll let you play with as many puppies as you want when they arrive. These are crazy. They are talking about monsters that would easily eliminate my entire squad easily, and they call it cute little dog. I couldn't take it anymore and when I came to my senses I was being burned by the nobleman. What happened? I couldn't say anything, then he dried my tears and while he told me. Don't worry Elsa, it's okay if you're afraid, I'll protect you. I could feel my heart race and my face heat up. Once again the nobleman spoke. A woman is more beautiful when she smiles, No, I can't take it anymore, my head spins. Then the nobleman gets up, I try to do the same, but my legs don't respond, I can't get up. Apparently the nobleman heard my voice that escaped me unconsciously, and said that we will rest. A few moments later, 2 golems with spider legs appeared, that scared us a bit, but this time, we were calmer. We could see that the golems were bringing another 2 golems and materials. This is worrying me a bit, they are appearing out of nowhere, I don't realize when they arrive. The nobleman does something incredibly weird. He's using alchemy. In this world alchemy is seen as weak and useless. How is it possible for a noble like him to possess it, and use it without flinching? What's happening? He realized that we were watching him. One of mine panicked and tries to express his doubt. The king is an alchemist. The noble asks a little annoyed, what's wrong with being one? Another trying to help his friend speak. It's just that alchemists are weird, and they're not seen in a good light by humans and dwarves. The nobleman stares at us, perhaps the explanation was not enough. I quickly intervene and explain why alchemists are frowned upon. The nobleman seemed satisfied with the explanation. Soon after we began to feel a delicious smell, I could feel how my saliva began to gather, eager to try the food. When the food was ready, the golems, who looked like female servants, began to prepare the table at great speed. Despite their great speed, the plates, cutlery, and glasses were arranged perfectly. They are trained to a level that the servants in my house seem ordinary. Everyone sat down to eat quickly, but we all knew that no one could eat before the nobleman. I was intrigued. I wanted to know why the nobleman would eat the same food as us. Usually in my house me and my father have the best dishes, while the others receive a smaller portion and with less condiments, but unlike that, the noble's plate is exactly the same as the others. Even the traders had a plate of food and were being watched by the golems to prevent them from escaping. Of course they were still tied up on the floor, but their hands were free. We were all waiting for the noble to start eating to begin with. Once the noble started eating, everyone else started eating. When I tasted the dish, the food, I wanted to scream delicious, but I held back. Unlike me, my allies couldn't hold it and were praising the food. Some who were loud got hit by their friends. I apologize for the lack of manners from my companions, but the nobleman was not upset. He seemed happy and told me. That makes me happy to hear how they praise my food. He's a kind nobleman. I tell him his food is delicious. I was a little embarrassed. It's the first time I've praised someone's food other than my maid's. I wonder if I could eat it every day. Is it just me or is it starting to get hot in here? Hee. When I was imagining eating like this every day, in peace, with no one watching you, the nobleman spoke to me. Elsa, what do you think about staying here? Poof, cough cough, that, cough, I was eating and everything was so sudden that I almost choked on the food. I drink juice to soothe my throat. Once I recover, I reply to the nobleman, who is saying so suddenly, please don't play with me. It's clear that he's playing me, but on second thought, it wouldn't be a bad thing to live here. When I look at the nobleman, he is staring at me. I swallow saliva. He speaks to me. I'm not playing, I'm serious. I want you to stay with me, Elsa. It freezes me instantly. In noble, keep talking. And don't call me king, my name is Gabriel, Gabriel Estrellan. Gabriel, it's a nice name. No, wait Elsa, don't escape from reality, which was what he said. The words come to my mind. I'm not playing, I'm serious. I want you to stay with me, Elsa. I can feel how my blood rises to my head. He is telling me to stay with him. I begin to imagine a future, with children, running free, calling me mom. Wait, I'm getting carried away. Then I remembered my father and my people, the obligations I have to fulfill, and all my happiness vanishes. No, I can't, I have a duty to fulfill, and I can't accept your request. The Gabriel seems somewhat disappointed, but quickly regains his composure and asks me another question. Exactly what duty are you talking about? I have to protect my people from the humans, and since I am the priestess, if I abandon my allies, our people will be thrown into chaos. Besides, I have an arranged engagement between my father and the Beast King Barton Arkan. Although I was betrayed by the guards he sent, that doesn't mean the engagement is cancelled. The strength of the Beast King Barton Arkan is necessary to protect the village. The others stopped eating and were attentive to our conversation. Gabriel asks me, how many live in your town? We are a small town and we are more than 500 beast people. Gabriel with a smile talks to me. So Elsa, I have a proposal for you. A proposal? What are you talking about? I already told you I can't. What kind of proposal? Gabriel speaks to me. Elsa, be one of my wives. I froze. I could hear the others making a ruckus. The impact for me was so great that I even stopped breathing. A wife. A family, and the knights, will you? How hot. I want to scream yes, but I can't, I reply. But I cannot, my people. Gabriel didn't let me continue and tells me with a fixed look. I will take care of all your people. I can't help but be surprised and ask, full of unknowns. What? what are you saying, Your Majesty? Gabriel speaks. Bring all your people to live in my kingdom, they will live in my kingdom as citizens. With a fixed look he asks me, be my wife Elsa. After thinking it over quickly, I understood that even though it is a completely crazy proposal, it is a proposal that I would be willing to accept. If my people come with me, to this place, we would be safer and we would have a better life. And children, ha, ha, calm down Elsa. I have to discuss it with my father. Seemed kind of happy. While he was asking me questions, I was imagining what the future would be like, and when I was thinking about the wedding night. That leaves us with little time. I jump and red-faced almost scream, little time for that. With a slight mocking smile Gabriel answers me. It's a short time to visit your father, what were you thinking? No, nothing, I was thinking the same thing. I can't tell him the things I imagined, I would die of shame. After he made me say his name without honorifics, we talked some more. And I learned many things, until he said that he needed the bravest, not the strongest, the bravest. I wonder what he did. Elizabeth, my childhood friend, raises her hand. She is my dear tomboy friend, she always protected me from everything, I always bothered her by telling her that she is the best gentleman among all men. Gabriel tells her, Elizabeth, I have a mission for you. Elizabeth straightens up and says, leave whatever it is to me, I'll protect Elsa. Return to your tribe. That, Elizabeth and I said that at the same time. All the enthusiasm that Elizabeth had plummeted to one of irony. Elizabeth's eyes asked me for help. I can't deny those abandoned puppy eyes. King, what does he mean by returning? Ha ha ha. After Gabriel laughs, he begins to explain the situation. In short, Gabriel, I was asking for something that was impossible, he wanted to bring reinforcements to my town in 2 days, that's impossible. After repetitively denying, Gabriel points to the side and with a somewhat proud smile, I will lend you my strength. Turning, we were frozen. What I saw was a huge, gigantic monster, measuring over 32 feet tall, with 50 feet wide, and over 164 feet long. That giant monster was coming towards us at a high speed. All my allies and I included started to scream. Gabriel yells. Silence! The voice was loud enough to calm us down. Gabriel approaches the monster, I try to stop it, but my legs don't move, I'm still paralyzed with fear. With a smile, he explains what those monsters are, they are called T1 and T2, I didn't understand anything. First he says that they are war tank type automatons, I understood the word of war, but the rest I didn't, and then he called them their cute transport vehicles heavy, if they are not golems, and they are not monsters that they are, and they can expand, what does he mean by that? If they can multiply, then they are monsters. Say hello T1, T2. Bye bye. Ki so, they are monsters, those monsters made a big noise, intuitively my guards went into combat pose, but nothing happened, they will be intelligent monsters, then I remembered one of my father's talks with one of his spies. I was giving a report about the golems that the cities and kingdoms possessed, according to what I understood is that the nobles have golems, the more important the noble is, the greater the amount of golems they possess and power. I also report that the kings of the great powers of the world had unique golems, these golems were exclusive to royalty and some reached sizes like giants. Then I understood it, one of those great kings, was this noble man who was before us. I just thought that he was a simple nobleman with dreams of greatness, but if he is a real king, where is his kingdom? I only see a farm and a mountain, nothing else. Gabriel spoke. Well, Elizabeth, go inside T1, T2, she will follow you. I could see my friend genuinely bewildered and scared, that giant thing is going to eat her, I don't know anything anymore, I don't know if it's a golem, I don't know if it's a monster, I don't know anything. When I realized it I was almost screaming, hey wait, Wait how is it possible to move this giant thing without horses, and where did this thing come from? Gabriel, as if all this were normal, an everyday thing. Like where? From my kingdom, I told you the truth, we are in my kingdom. I exploded, I couldn't contain myself anymore. Wait, seriously, your kingdom, since it came so fast, I didn't see it coming. Gabriel, seeing me completely out of my mind, tries to calm me down and hands me some water and a chair. After I've relaxed, Gabriel turns around and tries to talk to Elizabeth. At times like these, it's where the worst part of my personality comes out. I can't help but want to know everything I don't know, and when I see a chance to find out what happened, it's almost impossible for me to stop clinging to it. When I came to, I was grabbing Gabriel's shoulders and doing a total couples scene. Gabriel talks to me happily. As I explained to you before, we are in my kingdom, right? I nodded, still embarrassed by everything that happened, and released it quickly. Gabriel points to the side and tells me. Look, you can see those little lines on the ground. Yes, it's a straight line and it's almost invisible, besides the earth is covering it, that makes it more difficult to see. Well, look carefully, Sol T3, after Gabriel said those words, the ground began to open, and another monster came out of it. How many of those monsters does he have? And then Gabriel said a few words that gave me chills. Elsa, you want to see a part of my kingdom? My instincts tell me to say no, that it's a bad idea. But my curiosity overcame my fear and I nodded fearfully. Then Gabriel raised his hand and spoke loudly, as if shouting to the world. Listen to my call and obey my will. Awake, and rise once more, for the world to witness our power. When you finish talking, my fear became reality. Once upon a time my mother told me a story. The story was about the Demon King. According to the story, it is said that when the Demon King woke up, the whole ground trembled, and from the depths the Demon King emerged to destroy the world. The ground trembled strongly, everyone began to panic. You could see in the distance that giant piles of iron were beginning to emerge, one after another at a great speed. They were forming a large circle with the mountain as the center, and with us inside. Inside the gigantic circle, houses began to come out. The houses were of different sizes and shapes. He could see iron sticks that shone and illuminated the surroundings. He could see the ground with lines full of refined rocks, and iron water ponds, plants in various places, and many other things that he did not understand. He could see golems of all kinds. They were walking through the streets, and some of those golems were creating complex structures. Some of the houses were gigantic, but they were small compared to the giant circle that kept them inside. I think with horror, it's true, everything my mother told me is true. He, the Demon King, is real, and I will marry him, the Demon King who will destroy the world. The Demon King asks me with a smile. And what do you think of my kingdom? It's not pretty. Why? Woke up, it was night, I was in my bed. Everything was a dream, a nightmare. I collapse into my bed without strength. Maybe it's due to the shock with which I woke up, but my bed was incredibly soft. I cling to my pillow, enjoying its incredible softness. I don't want to think nothing, I just want to enjoy this peaceful moment. What happiness! I wonder what they open to make it so smooth. My door opens and a maid I don't know enters. Since it's all dark I can't make out her figure. Miss Elsa, it seems you've woken up. I bring you some juice so that you hydrate a little. It must be a new maid. I curl up on my bed and answer her just a little more. Miss Elsa, please wake up, the others are worried about you. The rest, what else? I don't know what you're talking about, and where is Elizabeth, because she doesn't wake me up. Miss Elizabeth is not available. At this moment Elizabeth is going within T1, to bring reinforcements to the Fox town. When I heard that, my eyes widened. Quee!